Good morning, everybody. We've got a special treat for you. And we've been posting it all over social media. And I did do a live on this, but you know what? As we know, tech does go a bit funny, and there was two Steves talking. So I thought I'd do a better job this time and get the great man JT on board and have a chat about some of the great things he's done. Look, I've known JT for like 100 years, it seems. I remember him as a young man coming into the industry, and he'd already been doing some good stuff. And he came into let's say, a new type of business and rocked the socks off. He was a trainer, had done a ton of great stuff in his other clubs. And then he came in to become and he won't admit it, but a great salesperson. He actually did incredibly well, went into management, opened a club for the chain, and then said, hey, I'm going to do this myself. Opened a couple of businesses and then said, well, I think we need to help these businesses in management. And I must say, he's taken the world by storm. Active Management now is one of the leading companies, not just in Australasia, but around the world. JT's presents globally, regularly in the USA and always around Asia and Australasia, and has made a massive difference. He pioneered the round tables. And I must say, it was the inaugural event where people come together and share. And it's actually an insular group where there's a lot of trust. And I think it's just an awesome way of networking. And then a few years ago now, my goodness, it seems just like yesterday, started the Fitness Business podcast, where he gets experts from all around the world sharing their good stuff. I had the delight of actually being on there a few times myself. And I must say, Chantal does a wonderful job in the interviews and extracts all the good stuff and makes a massive difference to businesses. And you'd think he'd be 100 years old by now. He's now got a new venture where he's helping people with technology and the summit. So long intro because you've done so much, mate, but thanks so much for joining me today.
Thanks, Steve. I might take you on the road with me. That's a great intro. And I'm not sure I can live up to all of those little dot points you just shared, but we'll give it a good shot today.
Look, mate, you've made a massive difference to lots of businesses, and you know, you're regularly on social media and so forth. And I'd love you to tell everyone before we get stuck into the technology stuff, a little bit about your journey. I mean, about Active Management and what it's doing and the round tables, and also the Fitness Business podcast, which are outstanding.
Well, I guess if I start way back when, as you alluded to, I don't think I'm a naturally gifted salesperson, but I do think I'm a very curious person. So I'm not sure whether you profess this in your training, but I think in order to be a successful salesperson, and in fact, a nice person in general, I think you got to have that degree of curiosity. And so that led me to asking lots of questions about the prospect, or also within the industry, talking to people around the industry, lots of questions. So that, I guess, is my grounding or my foundation of kind of where I started, that curiosity. And then nearly 15 years ago now, I suffered a chronic illness and decided I'd sell my club business and reduce the stress of running a gym. And when you are an unemployed gym owner, you become a consultant. What else do you do? And so I've been been speaking around the world, as you said, around the management side of things. I'm the first to admit that I am way behind the 8 ball in relation to operations of clubs now. Not owning a club for over a decade means that I'm not really in the trenches and know the operations of a gym. And that's not what I do. What I do is I'll look out here outside the industry, look at best business practices, look at management techniques, look at marketing. In this example, we might talk about today some technology, and then translate that so it becomes relevant to the club owner, the studio owner, or the personal trainer. So I actually reckon I got the best job in the world because I'm just a translator of outside and bringing it back so it's relevant to our industry. My goal is to get more people moving and more people moving more often. So we reduce the healthcare costs around the globe. So hopefully I'm doing that in some way, small or large.
Well, working with the small and large businesses, I know you work with personal trainers too. You have a small box, you have large box, and also the personal trainers in their round table. So you're certainly doing that. I mean, help those people be successful and it multiplies, you know. Great, well done, outstanding.
Yeah, thanks. I think one of the things that why you and I work well together is because we don't cross over, is that you're the sales expert and we're not trying to get out there and teach people sales. We're about there teaching people how to run their business. And often when I talk to people, we go, where's the hole in your business, or where's the roadblock in your business? And if we can identify it sales, then we can send it to you. If it's retention, we can send it to Paul Brown. Our part of our business is the management side of things. So we don't get into the trenches and do the operational side of things. We leave that to the experts.
Exactly the same. I mean, anyone wants a management component or a business conversation, we send them to Active. And I mean, I think we've been in the industry long enough, and we know the people we can plug people into. I think it makes an enormous difference just having a strong network of people you can know, like, and trust that will do the job for the businesses. And Active has been a conduit for all of that as an impact, and so with Paul, as you said, and a few of the others. It's been a journey. There's a lot of people come and go, but you've been around for a very long time. So let's make sure we continue to grow in that area. It's outstanding.
I'm doing my very best.
What was that?
I'm doing my very best to catch up to you with grey hair.
Yes, I haven't done the Grecian thing yet, but I don't think I will. I'll age gracefully.
I'm hearing you.
Okay, now I'd love you to tell us a little bit about the Fitness Business podcast, mate, because it's actually done some amazing things. And you were the actual pioneer with podcasts for the fitness industry. So tell us a bit about it, because it's taken off like all around the world.
Yeah, look, I'd love to say we were probably the pioneers, I guess, Steve, of the podcast for fitness business owners. There were certainly a lot of podcasts out there, but for us 4 years ago when we launched, I would suggest there were others. But when we came out with ours, we really identified exactly what we wanted to produce, which was a podcast around the business of fitness. Hence the name, Fitness Business Podcast. Yeah. Who would have thought that'd be the name of the show? In fact, in all honesty, we looked at and tried to come up with a really funky and a really cool name that people might remember. But in all reality, the most important thing in marketing is the name of your business, because that's what people are going to search in Google. So it made sense to call it the Fitness Business Podcast, so that when people type that in, up we pop. So that was 4 years ago. We've now done, as of today, 327 shows every single week for 4 years. Same time every week the show comes out. We've just clocked over 400,000 downloads. 53% of our downloads are now from the US, about 25% are from Australia. And I think the most unique aspect of our podcast, unlike a lot of others, not just in our industry, but everywhere, is that they're not an advertorial, they're educational. So we have people like yourself come on, we have consultants, we have club owners, club managers, we have authors come on, and they share their education over about 18 minutes. And then in the final 3 minutes of the show, we ask for their Fit Bizpiration. And the Fit Bizpiration is 3 action tips that people could do straight away to create an impact. You like that word, impact?
Yeah, it's a good name.
To create an impact on their business. So that makes our show incredibly unique, that at the end of every single show, every single week, are 3 action steps that could have an impact on your business. And I think that's probably what I'm most proud of. Not necessarily our downloads, not necessarily the number of our shows or how long we've been going, but more that I know that if someone listens to our show, at the end of that, they're going to walk away with some really specific action tips that they could use on their business or in their business. And I did do some research. You were show number 7 and show 102.
There you go. Well, up to getting close to the 300 mark. My goodness gracious. Look, tell us maybe 1 or 2 people that we should listen to in the podcast and how people could actually jump on. Yeah,
sure. First of all, to listen to any of the podcasts, you just need to go to fitnessbusinesspodcast.com.
Okay.
It's that simple. Now, of course, we're on every single platform as well that has podcasts. So we're in iTunes, we're on Spotify, we're on Podbean. You can search us, you'll find us, and then it can automatically download to your device. But the simple way is to go to the website, fitnessbusinesspodcast.com. When you look at the screen on the top right-hand corner, there's a search bar, and you can search by category. So you can search sales, you can search marketing, you can search leadership, or you can search by the person's name that you're looking for. So people wanting to listen to your shows, they just type in Steve Jensen, hit return, and up it comes. So it makes it really easy for people to find. We just interviewed last week, which is the second time we've had him on the show, and he's an author. His name's Mark Schaefer. He has got the most beautiful voice to listen to. It is just great. But he's written a book. Both books are around marketing. And I know that you speak a lot to your clients, and people within the club here are focusing on sales. But in order to get the sales, we need marketing. And what Mark talks about in that book is all about generating leads by positioning yourself as an authority in the marketplace. So if I use impact training as an example, in Australia and all sorts of places around the world, you ask, who do I talk to about improving sales in my fitness business? Because of your longevity, because of your position, because speaking at conferences, because of the sales club that you've got, people know you as the authority around sales. Now, the question is, do people know clubs, studios as the authority around weight loss or the authority around reducing the adult onset diabetes or hitting the golf ball further, getting your post-baby body back, whatever your niche is, are you known as the authority in that? So in these two shows that Mark does for us, he really focuses on helping build that authority in the marketplace.
Great.
They are great shows with real action steps, as I said at the end of the show.
That's terrific. I look at that authorization. We made up a word some time ago. Becoming the authority is so critical. And you hit the nail on the head. Ask a business, what are they known for in the community for? What is their niche? And sometimes they struggle. I mean, we talked about it a little while ago, and you have some great resources with Active on how to create your avatar. But even if you know your avatar, how are they going to know if you are the authority? And authorization, which obviously being talked about, is a fantastic. I'd recommend that to everybody to listen to. I think it's one of the holy grails now, generating leads. Terrific. Yeah, is there there's one other that we should listen to that's just been recent or that you can comes to memory from before?
Yeah, look, the one that I really recommend for everybody to listen to, I guess from a big picture perspective around why you do what you do in the industry, is an interview with Dr. Fiona Bull. Dr. Fiona is the lead of the World Health Organization's Physical Activity Task Force. And they met earlier this year, and their goal is to increase the number of people that are moving by 2030. They went through every single country and looked at the participation rates in exercise and movement, physical activity. And the World Health Organization has set some pretty high goals around getting the usage up or getting people to move more. And for us to get a world leader on the podcast was a bit of a coup. It took us a while to get her. We're very grateful for having her. And it really will inspire every single listener to get up out of bed and go to work in the fitness industry, because we all of a sudden now see the role that we play as business owners in the world picture around physical activity and improving the health of everybody around the world.
Oh, look, there's two beauties, and I'm sure there's 200 plus more to listen to. So everyone knows, just give them the URL again.
Yep, fitnessbusinesspodcast.com.
All right, no AU.
No AU. I think if you did put AU, you'd probably end up there, but you don't have to worry about the AU. Fitnessbusinesspodcast.com. It is the only fitness business podcast on the planet, so it'll be very easy to find us, but check us out.
All right. Now, let's get on to your next project. My goodness, roundtables. We're going from clubs to roundtables and then the Fitness Business Podcast, and going all around the world, spreading and helping. But we're on technology today. Even though we did try and do this again, we've actually had a glitch and so forth. So at the end of the day, as you know, JT, and a lot of my colleagues, friends, clients, around about 4.5 years ago, I was just going to say, my goodness gracious, there's just so much. We'll focus on this. But I decided to make a move to learn a lot more about technology. And actually, you pushed me to do this. So I spent a lot of time and a lot of money going and listening to stuff and going to courses, and I still am on the plethora of things on technology. And the industry has to have technology. It has to have people skills. It has to have, relationships and management. But you put together something that's quite unique. It's all about technology, that the Fitness Technology Summit. Now, tell us all about that, and maybe about why you did it and why someone should go.
Yeah, sure. Look, thank you. I guess from my perspective is I've always been kind of interested in this technology because, as I said earlier, that's what they're doing out here. And what are we doing in here? And for me, in here, our consumer is actually more knowledgeable probably around the data that they're collecting around themselves than we even are. Last year, we were lucky enough to be the media partner for the MotionSoft Technology Summit in the US. And that was a 2-day conference or 2.5-day conference where we went really narrow in technology. So often a lot of events in the fitness industry are really broad. And so you just get like the tip of the iceberg of the education side of things. As you know, when you're speaking on sales, 90-minute presentation, it really is just the snow on the iceberg. You're not really getting deep. So after going to the MotionSoft Technology Summit and seeing the depth that we could get in technology over a couple of days, it really made me go, maybe we could do that in Australia. And as MotionSoft don't exist in Australia, and if anybody is watching who is based in the US, I would highly recommend you get along to the MotionSoft event. But they're not based in Australia. They don't have an operation here. I decided that we would launch that here in Australia. And so on the 25th and 26th of July this year will be the inaugural Fitness Industry Tech Summit, where we're bringing a whole bunch of people from outside the industry to come in and educate the industry around technology and what the capabilities are, the functionalities, and all the cool shit that's out there around technology.
So what are some of the things they're going to be teaching? Give us an example of some of the technology. And I mean, you've been putting things up on social media just recently about some of the trends that are happening out there and what people should know. So give us an idea of something that maybe one of the speakers is going to be speaking about and one of the trends that would make a big difference.
Well, I think one of the most important things is when you talk in the fitness industry about technology, most people kind of put it into two boxes. It's either the box of the CRM that they're using, which usually relates straight back to their billing company, or they talk about Facebook ads. But technology is far broader than that. And in fact, one of the speakers that we've got speaking is talking about audio search and what's happening in that space of audio search. And by 2020, which is, of course, just next year, more than half of all internet searches are going to be done through voice search. So basically that means people are using Alexia, Siri, Google Home, Bixby, Watson, whatever other audio device that sits in their house. They're saying to that device, find me the gym. And in Australia, we've had double the number of users. So we're up to about 20% of Australians now have some sort of audio search device sitting inside their house. Now, that, of course, is quite scary because it's turned on the whole time and people can hear everything that you're talking about and searching for. But what we're seeing is because the consumer is now using this to search, I'm not convinced gyms are using voice search optimization on their websites. So people aren't necessarily going to Facebook. People aren't typing in Google. They're talking. And if we're going to see half of that happening by next year, as an industry, to be competitive, we need to up our knowledge and then transform our websites to be optimized around voice search. Interestingly enough, some research that I did find is that 20% of all voice searches start with one of three words: how, what, or best. So how do I lose weight? What do I do to lose weight? what's the best place to lose weight, whatever it may be. So as industry, we've got to get our head around that and start optimizing around those words, around voice search.
So I suppose that the SEO is going to change quite dramatically.
Yeah, I mean, we're still going to see the power of SEO, but yeah, SEO will change considerably. So instead of, I think SEO is search engine optimization, they're now calling it voice search optimization, VSO.
Okay.
And they've found, like, statistically, 51% already, 51% of voice searches are about product research. So people are searching to find out about a product. So they're searching to find out about a gym, or they're searching to find out about an online app. We must remain competitive and in the front of mind for all consumers. We've got to get our head around search optimization through voice, and we've got a speaker who's going to be speaking specifically on that on the day.
Oh, terrific. Well, are these sessions an hour? They're an hour and a half?
No, much to your disgust, they're only 45 minutes. So what we've asked all our speakers to do is, rather than have breadth, go deep. So to be able to give people a lot of depth around one topic in relation to technology rather than breadth. So I think we've got about 11 speakers from outside the industry that are all coming in. We've got Gemma Anderson, who is out of Deakin University. She, in fact, won in 2016 the most influential marketer in Australia who was under 30.
Wow.
So she's coming in to talk to us about the whole concept of digital marketing and what that looks like, and a whole bunch of technology tools and apps that you can use to do your digital marketing. We also have Andres Lopez Varela, the man with two dads, who's coming to speak. He was actually in charge of marketing for Tourism Australia. And your guys will love this, Steve, because they're coming in. He's coming in to talk about content that we put on our technology that will lead to leads and sales, to help generate better quality leads to get a higher closing ratio by telling a story through content. So really excited to have him. And of course, we have someone from Facebook. Katie Forsey's coming along, and she's not coming to talk about Facebook ads, but actually all of the features of the Facebook platform that many clubs are not using in order to get organic reach. So we're pretty excited to have someone from Facebook. We can't record it, that session, and we can't take photos.
Well, okay. Now, I remember you telling me before that none of your sessions are being recorded, and there's a reason for it.
Yeah, we made the decision not to record anything. So no sessions at all have any video or auditory,
Audio, all good.
Audio. There's no recording at all of any sessions. And the reason we did that is you really can't beat getting face-to-face at a presentation. It's the networking that occurs between the sessions. It's the ability to go and ask the speaker questions. You just can't beat high-fiving people, the power of touch. You know all of that from the perspective of getting, I think you call them ink spots.
That's right.
And you can't get an ink spot when you're watching a video or a recording. So for maximum value from this, the only way you can hear any of the education is by coming. So please, if you're thinking about coming and going, no, I guarantee they're going to release something the day or 2 days afterwards. No, absolutely no recording of any sessions.
All right. So it sounds like it's going to be just around the corner. So let's get on to where do they go to register, and how can they do it?
Yeah, really simple. All you need to go to is the website fitnessindustrytechsummit.com.au. fitnessindustrytechsummit.com.au. We've got two packages. We have a VIP package and a standard registration, so people can get either their choice. And it starts at 6 o'clock on Thursday, the 25th of July. And that's where we have our opening presentation from Katie from Facebook. We also have a Christmas in July themed dinner. So it's a networking dinner where we all come together and chat. On the Friday morning, we've got an early morning workout before all day sessions. So fitnessindustrytechsummit.com.au. And when you register, use the code IMPACT, IMPACT, and you'll save $100. Steve,
Oh, terrific. Thank you.
For you. So yeah, you'll save $100 either on the VIP or the standard registration. We only have 150 tickets. We've already sold 60. So there's only just under 90 left, I think. So you need to move pretty quickly. But as I say, no recording. Use the word IMPACT and you'll save $100.
Oh, terrific. Well, thanks for that. That's great. So guys, if you want to go and learn about the good stuff, all the technology, but also find out how to use your Facebook, get authorization taking place. I'm sure they're going to talk about Siri and all the other bits and pieces there. And all the things that we don't know about, but the experts do. Get along to the Technology Summit, the Fitness Industry Technology Summit. And it goes for 2 days. I remember you telling me, JT, that you're going to go into a club and check out how they're doing things too?
Yeah, part of the VIP experience is we've got 2 extra bonuses there. One bonus is that we're doing a Barry's boot camp workout. So we've got 50 people going to do a Barry's workout.
Wow.
And then we head down the road to Fitness First at Bond Street, where they're using Apple technology interfacing with all the cardio equipment. So we're going to talk about how that works and the impact that that's had on their business with the guys from Fitness First, which is pretty exciting as well.
Terrific. Well, you've got a little bit of everything. You've got the lectures, which aren't too overbearing. And by the way, I think it's a good idea to have a technology conversation a little bit shorter than the norm, because sometimes that can be, all that new stuff can be quite heavy. So I think that's well done. But I also think that's a great idea to go actually into the club and see how it's working. Sometimes it's easy to have the chit chat, isn't it? You can say, well, how does that actually work? And some people need to see it as well. So sounds awesome. So guys, you know where to go. JT's going to give you the URLs again. So get a pen handy. You're going to go for the Fitness Business Podcast, where you're going to go, and also how to go to the Technology Summit. So let them rip again, mate, so we can know where to go for the Fitness Business Podcasts and the roundtables. Obviously, they're a little different. So where would they go for those?
Yeah, okay. So for the podcast, it's fitnessbusinesspodcast.com. For the roundtable, just go to activemgmt.com.au. Right. And for the Tech Summit, fitnessindustrytechsummit.com.au.
Great.
And use the code IMPACT to save $100.
Yes, great. Thanks for popping on again, mate. We eventually got this done. Technology was on our side. So you have a great week, mate, and we'll talk real soon. Thanks, guys. Make sure that you look up all those URLs, get to the summit, and learn some good stuff and make 2019 and onwards your best ever. All right?
Thanks, mate. Appreciate that.
And Dr. J, signing off. Bye for now.